Oahspe, Book of Sethantes, Chapter 5, Part 26. In the first year of Horrid, there were received in God's kingdom in heaven 1.5 million Essions, men, women, and children, born of the earth. And there were still left within the different divisions of the earth, with the lords, 3.25 million Essions, being for the most part feetles. 2. In the first 100 years there were born of the earth 170 million Essions. Such then was the number of 3 generations of Ihens, which is to say that in those days the number of the inhabitants of the earth, not including the Asuans, who were not created to everlasting life, was 54 millions. And already had each of the Lord's heavenly places become large kingdoms. 3. In those days, the period of 5 years was allotted to the Essions as their time of infancy in heaven, requiring nurses and helpers, but some of them required many years more. 4. After 5 years, the Essions were taken from the nurseries and taught by symbols and objects, the rudiments of education, and drilled in processions and music and dancing and gymnastics. But every day they were required for a brief period to labor, some at weaving, some spinning, and some in transportation. 5. The voice of Jehovah directed God, saying, The structure of my kingdom in heaven requireth it of thee, that thou shalt make all labor an agreeable exercise for the growth of the spirits in thy dominions. 6. And God commanded the officers of the realm of Horrid to lengthen the hours of labor, according to the age and strength of the spirits received up from the earth, and it was so. 7. Jehovah again spake to God, saying, In all labor thou allottest to those who have sprung up from the earth. Freely give to them to do whatever they desire. But thou shalt not suffer them to return to their earth kindred alone, unattended, lest because of their love they engraft themselves, becoming bound to mortals. But when they have lived 50 years in heaven, thou shalt not only permit them to return to mortals, but thou shalt direct them to do so, for in this period they shall have no further desire for engraftment. 8. Again Jehovah said, As fast as thou canst appropriate the labor of earthborn spirits to help in the resurrection of others, so shalt thou do in my name. 9. And even so did God and the lords under him, and in the time of 100 years there were raised up to the second rate 20 million souls that had come forth out of the earth, and many of them comprehended the manufactories, the nurseries, and schools and hospitals in heaven to the full, and they were in many things alike equal to the requirements of their teachers. 10. The voice of Jehovah came to God, saying, It is well, my son, to take a rest. Behold, thou hast toiled 100 years, day and night, without ceasing. Thou shalt therefore appoint other officers, and spread out the kingdom of Horrid to cover all the land of Waga, the continent of Pan. And thou shalt appoint in my name thy most efficient officer to sit on the throne for a short space of time. For thou shalt travel and visit the 5 lords of the earth and their kingdoms. 11. And thou shalt take with thee 1,000 heralds, and 1,000 messengers, and 5,000 musicians, and thou shalt have a ship sufficient to carry thy host, and to be as thy house whithersoever thou goest. See to it, and set all things in order, and depart thou on a journey of 1 year. 12. And God called in the surveyors who brought maps of earth and heaven, showing the best places for extending the kingdom of Horrid.